Hey all, good morning and welcome to ShareTrek. This is Raj here. It's a rainy Monday morning. It's been raining since last night, and one of my dogs was not well, so I couldn't get much sleep last night. He had to keep on going out every hour or so, and I hope he gets better today. And therefore, seeing the futures and pre-market indices in the green cheered me up this morning, and I hope that continues. With that said, let's get started with our morning show. Welcome back, friends. Twitter is calling on Elon Musk's latest bid to get out of buying Twitter as invalid. I think we should check in when all this saga is over. There's no point doing a blow by blow. With that said, the myth of Russian superpower is unraveling as Ukraine manages to claw back territory. This was the news throughout the weekend that Ukraine has claimed more territory back. And as always, in a war situation, we cannot depend on a single media source, as there will be a lot of spin and propaganda from both sides. So the truth will emerge in the due course. But right now, countries that have large amounts of Russian military equipment will be watching very carefully. The concern is twofold. Firstly, will the Russian military equipment prevail in this conflict? There are news about weakness in the Russian tanks. The second question for them will be if Russia is still capable of supplying parts, maintenance, and pending orders. This question arises because of reports of Russia buying drones from Iran and some other military equipment from China and North Korea. With that said, we are still looking at Germany, which is continuing to spend mega dollars with Russia, while the pressure is on the rest of the world to stop buying Russian oil. The argument of developing countries such as India is that their large population will suffer hyperinflation if they compete with rich countries, while the supply volume of oil is reduced by cutting off Russia. And any such hyperinflation will cause political instability, so India doesn't want to do. For instance, India is suggesting that it may reduce oil purchases from Russia if they are allowed to buy from Venezuela and Iran, so that they do not have to compete in the open market where supplies are very constrained due to Russian sanctions, and rich countries from Europe and other parts of the world are competing with big money. Either way, oil prices are going to go up again, and it will impact inflation, and that will impact the interest rates and our stock market. With that said, I would like to focus on the bright spot. The bright spot is in the crypto sector with the strength of Bitcoin as it crossed the 200-day simple moving average and touched 22K. Now, with that, let's look at the CNN Fear and Greed Index because we haven't seen it for quite a while. Here we are in the Fear and Greed Index. And as you can see, we are just at the edge of neutral. So as long as we continue staying in neutral, we have better prospects. But the moment we slide into fear, then things can unravel a little bit. And that's where the oil prices will also play into the equation. With that said, now let's look at the market heat map. Here we are in the market heat map, and we are looking at one-day performance. So in the last day, the whole market has been green for a good measure, except for insurance, healthcare. Those two sectors have not fared very well, but most of the others have done well. Again, home improvement has not done well. Restaurants have not done very well. So those are some of the smaller pockets, but in majority, most of them have done well. Now, if you were to go back to a one-week performance, we can see that most of our better performance has come in the one-day time frame. If you look at 1 week, you can see that there are quite a few red spots, especially big companies like Apple. Apple is down minus 0.37% when we look at 1 week performance. Same with Intel and IBM. And if you look at the household purchases sector, the consumer defensive, that has been predominantly red with just a little bit of green coming from Procter & Gamble. And if you look at consumer defensive, confectioners, which is absolutely a discretionary purchase, they are all in the red. Packaged goods also in consumer defensive has been in red. And if you look at the healthcare sector, it has done slightly better than it did in the one-day time frame. And if you just go back to 1 month, you can see everything was red. So my friends, I think that there has been an improvement in the environment, and we are in a much better situation today with so much of greens. I hope we continue to find the same traction. We'll get a clear idea when we look at the TradingView platform. So let's go to the TradingView platform and check out our indices in the genomic stocks. Well, friends, here we are in our TradingView platform, we are looking at Nasdaq futures, and the time is around 7:49 a.m. this morning, and you can see that we have broken out of the bear channel on the Nasdaq futures, and we have crossed the 20-day simple moving average, and it's a doji candle right now out there. This is the candle for today, 12th of September. And if we continue to stay above the 20-day exponential moving average, then we would have the 9-day, 50-day, and 20-day moving average supporting us, and the only other hurdle to cross would be the 200-day exponential moving average. So let's have a look at what the indices have in store for us. This seems to be positive for me for today because we are up 0.53%. And if we go on into the indicators and look at US oil first, US oil is getting support from 86.33. Let me just mark this as green so that we know that it's a support. And it has already got support from the 9-day exponential moving average because it has gone over it. So the resistance for US oil today is at 88.0. And by the looks of the MACD and the momentum, it seems like we're going to cross that. If you look at QQQ, QQQ is up 0.61% this morning. So definitely bullish, but overall it is still in the bearish channel. So I would say that this is a bull rally in a bear market until we cross this diagonal line of resistance out here, which is a long-term line of resistance for the bear channel. If that happens, then I would adjust this line and make this as the support for the new new bull channel. So that said, let us go on to S&P 500 and let's look at what S&P 500 is doing. It's up 0.54%. Momentum is also above average, and MACD is turning toward the signal line. It was the same with the QQQ also, and we across this diagonal line of resistance of the earlier bear channel, and we are right now much above it at 408.80. Therefore, I am thinking that our next line of resistance is going to be 415.60. So it seems to be the beginnings of a green day for the market. IWM, Russell's index, is up 0.53% this morning, and it has got a resistance out here. I think I'm going to just fine tune this and adjust it properly. It's got a resistance at 187.90, but pre-market it's already at 188.39. So we'll have to see whether this line of support continues, this resistance, which has now become a line of support, continues to be so as the market opens. And if that happens, then our next resistance is going to be at 191.38. Looking at the MACD and the momentum, I think it's going to be green. Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 0.27%, and we are above our 20-day exponential moving average, but our 50-day exponential moving average is giving us a strong resistance. 50-day exponential moving average is at 322.77, whereas our pre-market is at 323.14. So right now we have just about crossed the 50-day exponential moving average and converted it into a support pre-market. And if that holds on, then we are going to challenge this diagonal line of resistance, which we have here for today. It's going to be 323.68. So 323.68 is the next immediate resistance, after which we'll convert this diagonal line of resistance into a diagonal line of support, and we'll be back into the bull channel for Dow Jones Industrial Average. Given that the gain pre-market is just 0.27%, I'm a bit circumspect also because momentum is below average. But given that the momentum is pointed upwards, if we manage to go above average on momentum, it will do a lot of good, and it will help us to convert this diagonal line of resistance into a diagonal line of support. If I look at VIX, VIX is still within yesterday's range, but it opened above yesterday's range. Opening above yesterday's range was not a good sign, but promptly our 20-day exponential moving average, which was at 23.59, pushed us back down, and we have got support at 22.73. So I think we'll have to wait and see what happens with VIX, because momentum is just below average and poised upwards. So volatility could raise again. I don't know which direction it's going to go, and that will have a bearing on the stock market. So based on this, I would say that today we might open green. What happens after that? All bets are off. Put call ratio is slightly bearish, but I would say it is neutral because it was almost close to 1. So that there is no clue out there. If you look at US dollar index, it is dropping. It's dropped 0.34% today, and it's coming to a line of support, which is at 13,122.21, and right now we are at 13,120.34. So I have marked that as a resistance. We are just crossed below it. So if we go back above it, then our 9-day exponential moving average is going to be the next resistance. But if we continue falling, our next support is the 20-day exponential moving average sitting at 13,024.41. So with that said, I'd like to go and have a look at the market movers. And in terms of market movers, I'll first look at Amazon. So let us see where Amazon is. Amazon is out here, and Amazon is up 0.89% today, and it has converted this resistance of 132.39 into a support on Friday. So I'm going to mark that yellow. Sorry, I'm going to mark that green. And we are currently way above where we ended yesterday. So we are at 134.51. It's a very good position for us to be in. I'm going to draw a minor line of resistance, which I think might form somewhere out here. This could be a minor line of resistance, which is sitting at 138.05. Looking at the MACD and the momentum, I think Amazon is going to be positive influence on the index today. Google is up 0.29% pre-market, and it has got resistance from the 50-day and 20-day exponential moving average somewhere around 114.56. And therefore, I think Google might continue on its upward track. But the fact that the momentum is below average is giving me a pause. But because momentum is still raising sharply, I'm optimistic that Google will support the market. Next, let us look at Apple. Apple is up 1.32%, showing incredible strength. And a pre-market, it's up 1.28% and showing incredible strength. It's got joint support from the 200-day and the 9-day exponential moving average at 158.09. So I think that's going to be the first level of resistance for today. But given that pre-market we are already at 159.48, it shows that Apple has got tremendous strength this morning. Our next resistance is the 200-day exponential moving average, which is this thick red line. I'm going to convert this line into some other color for you so that you can have a, let me see what color I can get. Let me put a white out there so that it's much clearer. So the white line there is going to be the 200-day exponential moving average, and that's giving us a resistance out there. And today it's sitting at 161.04. So that's the ultimate cap for Nasdaq. And if you look at Microsoft, it's up 0.51%, and the 50-day exponential moving average at 268.27 is going to be resistance for us. So with that said, I think the market looks poised for green opening for sure. 100% I can say that the market is going to open green. What I cannot say is whether it will remain green throughout the day. For that, we'll have to see which direction the oil prices move and what are the stimulus the market gets after market open. So around up to 9:30 p.m., I think we are going to be green, and after that, all bets are off. Bitcoin is looking very strong at 22,320, and it has already crossed the 20-day exponential moving average, so that's a very good sign. Earlier, I had by mistake mentioned that we had crossed the 200-day exponential moving average. Please note that I was wrong out there. That's the reason why I have changed the color of the 200-day exponential moving average. We are far off from the 200-day exponential moving average. So we have got the 9-day and the 20-day exponential moving average giving us support. Our next line of resistance is this diagonal line of support from the previous bull channel, which has now become resistance, and it's going to be at 23,698.8. I would suggest that 23,628.6 is going to be our ultimate cap for today. Our momentum is very sharply picking up, and our MACD is also bullish. Good news for Bitcoin, and therefore good news for Coinbase, which is already up 3.19% this morning, and it has converted our minor resistance of 80.41 into a support. So I marked it green out here. So our next resistance is going to be the 200-day exponential moving average. Therefore, it seems all clear. As long as Nasdaq is going positive, I think Bitcoin will continue to echo that sentiment. In terms of commodities, wheat is again gaining. It has converted this diagonal line of support resistance into a diagonal line of support. It's back in the bull channel again. That's not good for the global economy. And when we look at copper, it's still consolidating, and it's got support at 3.55. Genomics, let us just sort this out and have the biggest winners on the top. Invitae was the biggest winner, and today pre-market it's down minus 1.50%. But I'm optimistic that it will pick up. PACB is up 0.45% this morning, and it's going to have a resistance from 7.06. MACD and momentum are pointing towards continued gains. Intelia has got no trades pre-market. Its resistance is going to be at 66.96 today, and its support is going to be at 60.88. I'm going to mark this green so that it shows that it's a support. So 3 exponential moving averages are giving support to us here. All except the 200-day exponential moving average is a resistance. Now let's look at ARCG. ARCG is up 2.17% as of Friday, but today in the morning there are no trades. Therefore, I'm going to convert this line of resistance at 36.91 into a line of support. So 36.91 is going to be our support today. And before that, the next level of support is 37.25, which is which the 20-day exponential moving average. So those are the two supports that we have. And I'm going to draw another line of resistance out here, which is going to give us a bit of resistance. There's going to be minor resistance at 38.02. So let us see what happens in the market. The MACD and the momentum indicate that ARCG has positive force behind it. If you look at DNA, it's up 1.70%, and it has crossed the resistance that's being offered to it by the 50-day and the 20-day exponential moving average. So now both the 50-day and the 20-day exponential moving average are going to be our support, and our next resistance is at 3.20. And looking at the momentum and the MACD, I think we are definitely going to move closer towards 3.20. Whether we'll touch it today or not is a big question. Then I'm going to skip Novartis and Pfizer and go to Illumina. Illumina was up 1.47% yesterday, and it's poised very tantalizingly at 210.87, which is a resistance, horizontal resistance. If we manage to break this resistance, I think we will, because our MACD is bullish and momentum is above average and pointed up, and Nasdaq is also looking positive. So we're going to convert this line of resistance at 210.87 into a support, and the 50-day exponential moving average, 50-day simple moving average sitting at 224.55 is going to be our next line of resistance. And then we look at CRISPR Therapeutics. CRISPR is up 1.61% pre-market, and it has converted this horizontal line of resistance sitting at 66.36 into a line of support. So I marked it green, and it's a doji candle right now. There is a bit of indecision as far as Friday is concerned. But when we look at the pre-market action, where we are up 1.61, it shows that our price is at 68.04, which is way up this doji candle. So the decision has been made. We are going green today. And unfortunately for us, the momentum is still below average, so we don't know if it is sustainable. And MACD is also poised to cross over the signal line. So if Nasdaq is going to be positive, I'm pretty sure that CRISPR is also going to stay positive today, and we may move closer to the average line in the momentum. That will be very good for CRISPR Therapeutics. If you look at Beam, Beam was up 0.77% as of yesterday, and it was challenged by the 20-day and the 9-day exponential moving average. There is no trades pre-market, but I would hope that we are going to convert the 9-day and the 20-day exponential moving average into a line of support for us today. And then we go on to Bluebird, which was up 0.42% yesterday, and it's down 0.56% this morning. It's a doji candle, and I think we have a bit of jitters because we have the FDA verdict coming up anytime now. So we are still in a bullish channel, and momentum is still also above average. MACD is also bullish. So I'm going to continue to be bullish about Bluebird. IMTX was down minus 1.61% on Friday, but today it's up 4.98%. Let us see if there is any new news on IMATIC. There is no new news out here. IMTX, in my opinion, is still in a bull channel, and this diagonal line of support out here is going to be a support for us. And even before that, we have support from the horizontal line at 12.71. So I'm optimistic about IMTX. Even if it drops a bit today, I think it's a strong stock. SQZ Biotech was down 1.64% yesterday, on Friday, and it has fallen below this horizontal line of support, which was at 3.02. So 3.02 still continues to be a resistance because we have no trades pre-market, and also MACD and momentum do not give me much to cheer about. But I think 2.99 is very low for SQZ Biotech. We'll see what happens when the market opens. Allogene was down 2.14% on Friday, and today pre-market we have no trades. And I think we have converted this diagonal line of support from the previous bull channel into a resistance on Friday. So I'm going to mark it as a resistance, and today we are going to get our first resistance at 15.28. If we cross that, which we can potentially because we are above average on the momentum, if that happens, if Nasdaq is green and that has the impact on Allogene, then we'll get back on top of the diagonal line of resistance and convert it into a support. That's all there is in the cards for Allogene this morning. Editas was down 2.28% on Friday, but it's up 1.07% this morning. And it's going upwards today, and I think it has crossed the 20-day exponential moving average, which is sitting at 16.02. Right now, pre-market, we are at 16.00. So I'm hopeful that we are going to convert the 20-day simple moving average at 16.02 into a support. And then our next resistance is going to be out here. It's going to be a minor resistance. I'm going to draw a line out here. This is going to be a minor resistance for us. It's sitting at 17.33. Momentum is just at average. MACD is crossed over the signal line. If Nasdaq turns bullish, we are going to be green with Editas again today. VERV was down 2.78% on Friday. It's up 0.70% today. It still got support from the 9-day exponential moving average sitting at 38.31, and also the horizontal line of support, which is a minor support at 37.91. And if I look at Caribou Biosciences, it was down 3.53% on Friday, but it's up 0.26% this morning. We still have the diagonal line of resistance being a resistance for us, and it's going to stop us at 12.26. Momentum is above average, but it's pointed downwards. That's what is concerning me. But if Nasdaq is green, Caribou Biosciences will continue to remain green because MACD is also bullish and moving away from the signal line. That, my friends, brings me to an end of this session. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please press a like out there. It helps the channel. And if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe and help us grow this channel. See you later today. Bye for now.